Vrishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti. In the 10th chapter, Krishna gave a detailed exposition of how God pervades in the world, where you can locate Him. We keep saying God is everywhere, God is everywhere. But when Arjuna had a doubt, where to see you, how to see you in the world. So Krishna gave full explanation and finally concluded saying that the entire universe is just standing as a fragment of my being. I am much, much bigger than the world. Obviously, if you hear something like that, next step will be what? Curiosity. Hey, I thought this is bigger. I thought Bahubali is a big movie. No, RR is much better than that. Obviously, what is the next idea? We'll go now. That is the 11th chapter. That's all it is. It's just a natural development of the 10th chapter. This is. You see. Otherwise, you will feel that, why suddenly Krishna is giving Vishvarupa to Arjuna? Because the agenda is very clear. They have come to the battlefield for what? To fight. Now, suddenly from nowhere you will find Krishna showing his Vishvarupa to Arjuna here. For what? And why this is coming in between suddenly? So for that we need to understand the development of ideas first. First we need to get the idea of how this 11th chapter comes into picture. Why this came in? Is because of the curiosity kindled by Krishna in Arjuna. Why he has to say that? Because that's the truth. Now you may say, now why he has to say unnecessarily all these things? There's no need for him to tell all that. No, that is not the way a teacher behaves. He will give full knowledge. So this is how we approach. So remember, when you are approaching any scripture, for that matter, you need to understand there are two stages in approaching to any Shastra. Whether it is Bhagavad Gita or it is Upanishads or it is Ramayana, Mahabharata, or you go to Bible or Quran or Guru Granth Sahib, any scripture for that matter. When you go to study, remember this. There are two stages in that. The first step is, it's exactly like you buying a mirror. When you want to buy a mirror for your house, you go to the shop. What do you see there? Very many mirrors you will see. When you go to that shop to buy a mirror, your focus is not on you. Your focus is where? On the mirror. Isn't it? You first check is the mirror reflecting properly or not? Is there any distortion? So your entire attention is not on you. Your attention is where? The quality of the mirror first. Right? Then you buy some mirror. And you, of course, it includes the shape, the size, and the how close it shows without any distortions. Isn't it? Suddenly you find, when I move a little, sir, the angle, it shows slightly different. You say, shape is good, the size is perfect, but no, this mirror I don't want. There's another mirror you will find, it's so perfect, but the size is too small or too big. Sir, this big I can't keep in my bathroom. Not possible, or in my room. No place. Or shape. Sir, I'm looking for oval. I'm not looking for this. This is my aesthetic sense. Each one have their own. I'm just giving example, okay? Each one have their own thing. I'm not saying mine is oval is aesthetic. There's no such thing. It's just, our idea, that's all it is. You buy. Then you bring that and hang the wall. Now, once you do that, after that what happens? Next day, you go and see your face. What do you see now? Now the focus is not on the mirror. Now the focus is where? The shaving proper. There is one thing missed here. You'll go and check that. That is the purpose for which you use the mirror. Remember, when you are reading the scripture, when you are studying, what are you doing there? Choose properly first. Which mirror will fit for you? Choose that first. Most of us don't make a choice like that. We simply pick up anything that is available, anything that is there, anything that is reachable to me, people come. People pick it up. After that, they find 101 mistakes in it. No. You do all those things before you subscribe. Before subscribing to some particular this one, you have to. These mirrors, once you subscribe, you cannot undo it. Once a choice is executed, you cannot undo. That's the tragedy of choices in life. Beware of that. The choices are very important. So here Arjuna had subscribed to Krishna, and Krishna has started giving him this, and he started showing the vision. Yes?
So sorry, two questions.
Yeah.
One is, when we are in a situation where we want to choose, especially which scripture like that, how to make that choice? Because you don't know the subject.
Trial and error.
Trial and error.
That's the only way. There is no other way.
And for most of us, even for me at least, it has happened by chance.
That's
It's
wrong.
not that we go looking for it.
That's a very wrong thing to do.
Starting, but how to...
It's a very wrong thing to do. By chance, of course, the starting point is a chance only for
that's
everyone.
what I meant, yeah.
Start is always a chance. But then we need to keep this idea very clear. Now, when you are making a choice, you should be aware of few things. What is that? Number one, when you are making a choice of a particular system that I am going to follow. They say that, okay, I am going to study Vedanta. I am not going to be studying. Then comes, in Vedanta there are many. Right? I am not giving you the list of institutions and schools and teachers. There are hundreds of them. Right? First, you have to decide Which system I am going to follow? Then you have to make a choice in terms of what? Who I am going to follow. There we say, it's like you cannot carry parallelly. You can't travel parallel. That is not possible. That is not allowed here. It cannot be done. You cannot say, sir, for this I go here, for that I go there. The example may sound little harsh for you, but that is what the Shastras give. The relationship between Guru and Shishya is like that of husband and wife. A wife cannot come and say, today I will be with you, tomorrow I will be with him. It will be like that. For this I come to you, for that I go to him. How will that be? It may hit very harsh. Suddenly you feel, my God, it's not. It should not be like that. No? It cannot be like that. It's not allowed. Surrender, says Ramanuja, should be like that of the relationship between Pati and Patni, husband and wife. Otherwise, it is not possible. Before that, you have to make a choice. Before you choose your Pati, you have to establish certain things. What is it that you have to establish? Two things you need to establish. If you are clear about these two aspects, you are settled. Number one, what is your nature? Number two, what is that he is offering? Right? If those two things are not matching, it is not possible. Now, establish this consciously. Sometimes it may happen so that we slide into it. Which is now the tragedy is every one of us will think my case is like that. It's exactly like everyone who falls in love believes that's the first time that love has ever happened in the universe. My love is such a unique love. Is how everyone who feels, anyone who falls in love thinks after Laila Arjuna, only me and her. Just a compromise. They can't say we are better than them. No lovers, they claim that. But then, everyone feels that. At that time. That is why none of those couples, who we know of, got ever married. Laila Majnu didn't get married. If they would have got married, what would be the case? It would be like our case only. They're all tragedies. Weird. It's amazing, no? See that all love stories you see, all great lovers never got married. We never give example of that. In any skill, Ambikapati, Amaravati, south you come now. Ambikapati. But that didn't happen. Romeo and Juliet didn't get married. None of them. Fairy tales only we see. They got married and then forever. Reading that, we also believe, stupidly. You never grow beyond that cartoon. Tiny tots. You never grow beyond that text. You genuinely believe. Everyone who has that emotion, remember, will always feel this is so unique. This is why we always tell people, do not take any decisions in life, any commitments in life when you are in the peak of emotion or in the valley. Ups and downs are there in life. When you are in the peak, don't commit. When you are in the depths of sorrow, also do not commit. Ups and downs you should avoid. When your life is more or less settled, things are all fine with you, the relationship is fine, just normal. That is the time you need to make this investigation. What is investigation? What is my nature and what is the style of the training, the teaching of that master? Now, every master has got their own style. No two masters you will find having the same. Impossible. Surdas Krishna is very different from Radha's Krishna, isn't it? Surdas Krishna is always a child, eternal child. He will never grow. Mirabai's Krishna will never get old, and he was never a child. Eternally he is a youth. Now, what is your nature? You got to define first. See, now even if you say that I am going to worship Krishna, you say, now which Krishna you are going to relate to? Define that first. Do you want to relate to Krishna who is of this type or that type or this type? Now, you can't say, I am going to worship Krishna in general. No, that is not possible. Which means there is no clarity in you. And invariably, this will have a flip side. Remember that. The flip side of this is, Mirabai's Krishna will never encounter Surdas Krishna. If they encounter, what will happen? There will be a clash. Don't expect there will not be a clash. There will be. This is what today we all want. Now, we can't understand the difference between a social problem, political problem, economic problem and spiritual problem. Human beings suffer from very many problems. Very many issues are there. There is a social issue, there is a psychological issue, there is a physical, there is economics, there is political, and there is spiritual. Now, when you come to the Shastras, you are coming for what? You are coming here for your spiritual problem, for which you should have clarity in terms of, do you have a spiritual problem? That is the first question. This is what we call as adhikaritva. Adhikari means qualified. What is a qualification? What is a fundamental qualification required for you to get admitted to a hospital? Who will decide you should be admitted to hospital? Doctor decides or you decide? Unless you are the owner of the hospital. They have to decide. You have to be admitted to hospital. They decide it. You don't decide. But then you have to go to the doctor with what? Not with the idea of what is the process of medication. What is the medication? No. First requirement is what? I should have this understanding I have a problem. Suppose you are not having a problem, then what? That's what happened to Mullah. Mullah Nazaruddin read a book, medical journal, in which it said that the danger of kidney failure is you will never feel the pain till it fails. And Mullah Nazaruddin's Understanding is what? I am not having any pain. Therefore what? My kidney failed. This is how you will also be reading. If you were to interpret directly, this is how you will read. You will start reading all wrong things. So essentially, first step is, do I have a spiritual problem for which I am going? To which we need to understand what is the meaning of spiritual problem. See, all of us understand what is the meaning of economic problem, isn't it? All of you understand, no? What is the problem of economics? What is the problem of physical? What is the problem of psychological? In fact, psychological problem most of us don't recognize. These problems are easy to recognize. Subtler you go, more difficult for it to be recognized. Most of us think a person who is having a psychological problem to be arrogant, isn't it? They don't care. He's indifferent or she's indifferent, etc. We have our own deductions. Make mistakes even when it comes to psychological. Now, spiritual is one step behind that, even subtler than psychological problems. So, first, in the spiritual path, if you say, sir, I have to make a conscious choice, how do you make a conscious choice? First, you need to register that I do have a spiritual problem. Then you go to a master. Then I have to make a choice. There are many doctors are there who I am going to choose. Like that, we have many gurus are there who I am going to choose. What is the choice? On what basis you make the choice? Number one, what is my basic nature? Now here is the big problem we all have, particularly in this lobby, in the Vedanta lobby. Swadharma we say, and you people get totally confused. So I don't know what is my Swadharma. There is nothing complicated here. It is simple just to know, are you an emotional person or are you an intellectual person? Do you take decisions in life based on emotions or you take decisions based on thinking? In which areas, sir? In neutral areas. Don't think in terms of, because biased one will be there always when it comes to your issues. No. I say in terms of neutral. What is neutral? You watch a cricket match between England and Sri Lanka. It has got nothing to do with our things. See how you react. That's how you cheat. Don't look into India-Pakistan match. Obviously, when you are sitting India-Pakistan match, to expect you to be neutral there. If you are neutral in India-Pakistan match, that means only two things. Either you don't understand cricket, you have no interest in cricket, or you are objective already, which means you are not having spiritual problem. You are spiritually healthy. A spiritually healthy person doesn't have to go through any medication. He doesn't require a doctor. It's a waste of time. You see that? So where do you make a choice? How do you choose, sir? This is where a person is needed to be guided properly. What is the guidance? First thing, I have to understand what is my fundamental nature. More or less, you don't need to pinpoint it. Just a general one. A general one, don't go into these areas. How I relate to my son, how I relate to my... No. Don't look into your things. Neutral. Sit and watch a Korean movie to understand. Right? Don't watch Telugu movie. If you sit for Telugu movie, it is a very different thing. You watch a Korean movie, it is a different thing. The way you see it is very different here. Look into this neutral areas, which is away from your personal things. This is how you assess. There you will know more or less where you will be falling into. Then you have to check another aspect. Second aspect that you need to check is, what is the style of training of the teacher? Because the teacher has a personality of his own. You see that? Teacher has a personality. You can't say teachers don't have a personality. He does have a personality. Rama's personality is very different from Krishna's personality. Very different from Parashurama. Parashurama is different, Rama is different, Krishna is different. No two avatars are same, no? We have the same avatar. Any of those gods? Huh? None of them same. All gods have taken different avatars. All avatars are different. Even though we say all, they are Vishnu only. There are 24 avatars, recognized ones. Popular is 10. Bhagavatam says 24, which is officially recognized. Like we have no officially recognized language in India. 17. Total languages, about 3,000 languages we have in India. Recognized is how much? 20? 22. 22 languages only recognized. In the 22, which is most popular? Kannada. I want to be safe. Bangalore, better safe. We can't say Hindi also, you can say Tamil is finished. Few languages are very popular. It's not that all 22 are same way. There are very many avatars. Of that 24, of that 10 is the most popular ones. That's all it is. But none of them are same. Here comes the critical one. Now this is where we falter. Sometimes you may be able to assess. That's the first thing he teaches in this VT, Vedanta treatise. When you read VT, first message there is, do not mix the personality of the teacher to his teachings. Never superimpose the personality of the master to the teachings of his. Now, your relationship is never with the personality of the master, remember that. Now, 99.9% falter there. We fall for the personality, not for the training, not for the teaching. Now, that's the instruction here. If you say that I wanted to make a conscious choice, what do you do, sir? First, you must suffer from spiritual disease. You should have a spiritual problem, number one. Now, how many of us go for a spiritual problem to a guru? We don't. Like he says in the Gita, who are the bhaktas? He says, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. And then he says, Jnani is the best. Why? Artha means the one who is suffering. But this suffering is very different from other sufferings. Any pain of life, any sorrow of life is not called as Artha. Artha is the one who cannot express his suffering to anybody. Have you experienced that? You would want to express your pain with someone, but you will not find anyone there around to express. No one will understand what you are asking. What is your pain? That's called Artha. Draupadi is a classic example of that. Look at the plight of her. She is appealing to the king, no response. She is appealing to the ministers, no response. She is appealing to her husbands, no response. She is appealing to so-called, elders, no response. Public, no response. Gandhari is sitting there in the assembly. Nobody is reacting to it, no one is responding to it. With whom she will go and tell her issue? That's a classic scene of Artha. Artha means don't say just pain, suffering and all that. Now pinpricks also we cry like Draupadi. That's not Artha Bhakti. Artha Bhakti is that devotion stemming from a deep-rooted pain to which I have no one to share. I can't share this with anyone. No one will understand. Even if I share it also, nobody is there around me to recognize it. That's the time you go to God. Because of problems. Loosely we say problems of life. Then we say a person who goes for Artha is the one who is pursuing wealth. Artha means wealth. The one who is worshipping wealth, worshipper of wealth. I'm not going into the details, what is worshipper of wealth and this and all that, okay? Another person goes because of some success, something I want, so I go. Then there is another person, there are fellows, who join. I remember, people have come in, for programs. Why did you join? We do have seminars. I've seen people enrolling for seminars because they get a good networking. I know he is a very powerful speaker and he brings, all these big shots come for the program and they'll be sitting there. Whole day they'll be sitting. So he would, they will go and exchange their cards. It's a good investment, sir. That's why for seminars, we started stopping calling it as fee for seminar. People started calling it as investment. You seen that? People started using the word investment. Education also has been started. People started calling it as investment now. You go to college, you spend so much of money. It's a good investment. Learning also investment. Education is an investment today. Then you have Jignasa. Is the one who is curious. Then you have a person who is a Jnani. Who is a Jnani? Jnani is one who has a clarity in terms of what is my problem and what is my nature. 3. What is it that he is offering? Is my problem going to be addressed by him? Number 1. Number 2. Does the manner in which he is going to be addressing the problem is going to be fitting into my nature? If you have clarity on this, your pursuit would be successful. Otherwise, you can also claim. Like we see, in this marathon, also run. Many people run in marathon. You will also run. You can get the satisfaction. Yes, I have also participated in that. But that excitement of 10,000 people running, it's so. That feel is the Josh is very different. That's what happens when you go for this bhajan sessions and all that. You go there, that music, and that Josh, and that the beat, when they start beating, you see. Carnatic classic is more tough. Bhajan is easy. Bhajans you can spend time. Carnatic classic to sit through is more difficult. Why? Beats are less there. Here, the beat is very different. Now, when you go to this pop music and all that, it's much more easier for you to relate to. Why? Because it's beat based, not melody based. Slowly, when it moves in, you keep jumping, you keep crying, you keep dancing. So much of movement. In Carnatic classical, nobody will move. The best of musicians. Of course, there are few musicians who will go all over when they sing. Best of musicians I have seen. Absolutely no movement. There is nothing. They simply sing there, simply sitting. And the mridangist who is playing also doesn't have that much of movements. And in fact, there are certain rules they have for Vedic chanting. Vedic chanting, they have a rule. One of the rules for Vedic chanting is you should not move your head. All variations should be happening, but no movement of it. If the head moves, not qualified. He has committed a sin, they say. It's wrong. You cannot be. Of course, they also go through very many variations and all that. Now, you go to the Vedic chanting, it is far more subtle. Subtler and subtler and subtler you go. Things gets different. Things get more difficult to relate. Same way here. When you are going into a relationship with the spiritual guru, a spiritual path that you have to choose, fix that. As far as Arjuna is concerned, he has already tried Krishna and tested Krishna very much. And the relationship that he had established with Krishna is so powerful, so nice, which is not like that of a dasya, servant attitude. This is more of a Sakha, friend. Arjuna is also devotee of Krishna, but then the nature of Krishna's Arjuna's devotion towards Krishna is very different from Mirabai. Mirabai's relationship with Krishna is that of a beloved. Arjuna's relationship is that of a friend. You see, Akrura also had the devotion towards Krishna. His devotion to Krishna is very different. You see, lot of them had their own. Each one had their own way of relating to Krishna. Arjuna had a particular one, which suited fantastically between Arjuna and Krishna. That's why the intimacy that you will find throughout between Arjuna and Krishna is very different from everyone else. Why? That intimacy is possible only in this case. That intimacy is not possible. You will never find Hanuman and Rama had a relationship like this. Isn't it? Hanuman was also a devotee of Rama. But then, as far as Hanuman is concerned, what is Rama? He is the boss. I am his servant. So the attitude of Hanuman is that of a servant. Why that is natural for Hanuman? If he can be a servant to a fellow like Sugriva, useless boss. But look at the commitment, look at the dedication Hanuman had towards Sugriva. That's how we identify what is your nature. Now we all want, if I get Rama, then I will become Hanuman. No. Rama will come later. First, you have to prove your mantle. You have to prove your credentials by serving Sugriva. When Hanuman brought Rama towards Sugriva, is it to help Rama or to help Sugriva? In Ramayana, I suppose I don't have to tell you the stories, okay? I'm assuming you all know the story. Now, Hanuman is meeting Rama and bringing Rama to Sugriva. What was the agenda? Rama wants to meet Sugriva for what? Not to help Sugriva. Rama's intention was what? I have to take assistance from Sugriva. That is the idea with which Rama comes. Okay. Sugriva is looking at Rama how? As a threat. He is scared. So he went and hid himself inside the cave, as usual. Anybody who comes, that fellow sees. First thing Sugriva will do is run inside the cave. That was his nature. Poor fellow. That much of beating he got, obviously. Like in the cricket match, we'll see that Srikanth, that old cricketer. So long as Srikanth was batting, who is that fellow? That Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan. Imran Khan would not come for bowling. He'll wait. Wasim Akram will bowl. He'll get out. After he gets out, Imran Khan will come. Because the moment he, Srikanth cannot play Wasim Akram. He doesn't know how to play. But Imran Khan, no problems. Why? Wasim Akram, they groom, over a period of time. They get better and better and better. He is such a bowler who got better. We also had few bowlers who were very promising in the beginning. After 10 matches, that's all. All that steam over for them. But Wasim Akram was not the case. He was growing better and better and better. He was getting every series. He was very early that time. He used to get really scared. He will avoid. Wasim Akram was deadly as far as Srikanth is concerned. Why? You get hit once. After that, you are scared of the bowler. Every cricketer has that. The fear. That's why we keep saying, this is a favorite ground for this batsman. This is a favorite bowler. This is a scare. Why? How we get it? Because they get out or they get hit. Something happens to them with that particular bowler. Same way. Wali had been beating this fellow left, right, center. Whenever Wali gets bored, punching back, he will come and pick up this guy and start beating him. And then he will get tired and go back. And then he has to recuperate. That's how they used to have in the olden days, these Greeks. They used to do that. And they used to give punishments, They'll give punishment of 100 lashes. They'll give. Who will withstand 100 lashes? Can't stand. So in the 24th lash, the fellow will collapse. He'll go unconscious. Can't take the pain. The body can't take the pain. He'll go unconscious. Then they will be taken in to the hospital. The wounds will be taken care of. He'll get cured. They'll feed him well. Get him after 3 months. Bring him back. Put him on the pole. Tie him to the pole. And 25, 26, 27, they'll start. 40th one he'll collapse. Again they will take. Because their point is what? You have to get 100. That's it. That they will not do when you are not conscious. pain. You can't take it. Obviously, Sugriva must have had tremendous beatings from. So you will run. So Hanuman comes to meet Rama as who first? Sugriva's representative. And when he takes Rama to Sugriva also, Sugriva taking also is done not to serve Rama. His loyalty was with whom? With Sugriva. You see, Allah served. That's how he identifies her. That is why we read the stories. Don't immediately bring in my, sir, what is my nature? First you understand what is the nature of Hanuman first. What is the nature of Arjuna? What is the nature of Akrura? What is the nature of Mirabai? Study that first. By understanding all those things, it will be easier for you to recognize what is yours. Get your nature first. Your nature cannot be very big, not huge varieties and all that here. Only for few, that's it. Essentially, you have few varieties only. What are the varieties you have? Active, emotional, rational. Only three. There is no other option. It's only a permutation combination. Rest are all just a permutation combination. That's about it. But essentially, you must be predominantly having one of this nature. Either you must be an active person, or you must be an emotional person, or you must be a rational person, intellectual. And straight away we can delete one point. What is it? Intellectual is very less. So, me falling into the category of being intellectual is not there. So, what is needed now? Only two options are there. Either I must be active, emotional. Then choose a field, choose a manner in which you can relate to the master, and master should have the capabilities to relate back to you. See, I cannot go to a master as an emotional person and he relating to me in a rational manner. It's not fitting. You see, I will not gain anything. You see, and the manner in which the devotion of a man will express in one way, a devotion of a woman will express in one way. You know that? What is the expression of a man's devotion? What he will do? No man will understand this. Women also don't understand. Man also doesn't understand, woman also doesn't understand. That is why we need teaching. See, this is how we first select a mirror. Now we are still in the process of selection of a mirror, full stop, remember. This classroom is not a showing mirror. The classroom is to give you, so many mirrors are available. I am running a mirror shop. I am not a mirror. Now people take, I am a mirror. Then you are in trouble. You are wrong then. I am just selling mirrors. This mirror, this mirror, this mirror. Then you pick up that particular mirror which suits your nature. That's about it. How do you suit it? This is how you choose. How you make a choice? You say, okay, now if my nature is emotional, if I am an emotional personality, does my trainer or my teacher, my guru, have that flavor in him? Arjuna is very playful. Okay? If Arjuna were to go to Rama, what will be the case? Have you ever seen Rama being playful in entire Ramayana? Only one thing that fellow played. Shooting, arrows. For that, the fellow has to pay the rest of his life, he has to suffer. Huh? Krishna was stealing butter. Can you believe? Now, you people will not understand what's the meaning of stealing butter. Butter stealing in a picture. Big deal. You have to translate into your language. The most precious thing they can have in that place, in his period, to that population, was butter. Now, recently I had been to this, Gokul, a few years back. Unbelievable. We are saying, we are living in the 21st century. In this 21st century, the development there you see, it's nothing. You can imagine 5,000 years back how that place would be. To that generation, to that population, which is the most precious thing they can have. Butter is the most precious one they will have in their period. And this guy is going and stealing. Not only from his house, everybody's house. Anywhere anything is lost, first the entire village will come only to Nanda's house only. Say, hey, where's your son? And they will not ask Nanda, they will ask his mom only. But the Yashoda only they will go and ask, hey, where is your son? Poor lady, innocently she will say, he's inside only. Where? And the fellow will come from inside. And they know exactly how. Imagine today if the neighbor's child were to come and steal from your house. What will you do? And he is not just stealing, pencil, eraser and all that. The fellow is stealing the solitaire that you have. Gold jewelry that you have, the fellow were to steal. What will you do? Put him behind bars. But today we read what? Bata chitta chor manamogan. Such a chore he is. Navanita Chora. Navanita Chora. You keep on shouting his name, Navanita Chora. Navanita Chora. Navanita means, freshly taken butter. So fresh butter only you will steal, not the old ones. Yesterday's butter you will not steal. Today's butter only you will steal. Fresh you take, you buy something and keep. Fresh one the fellow steals and goes. Rama will not do that. Rama did one thing, he couldn't get away. This fellow did all that and got away with all that. That is the nature of Krishna. This is the nature of Rama. Now when you go as a devotee, you must have the capabilities to relate to Krishna, to relate to Rama. If you are lacking the capability, don't go. Or, I go sir, but he is lacking the capability to adapt to my requirements. Then also you cannot. I go to him with emotional one, that fellow keeps on giving me instructions. This you do, that you do, this you do, that you do. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. If he keeps on saying, what does it mean? That means there is no match. Why? Even if you say that, this is where the next point comes. As to the devotion of a man will manifest in one way, the devotion of a woman will manifest in another way. If a man is devoted, you know what you will do? Devoted man. will write a fat check. Okay, that's a devoted man. When I say man, I mean masculine. Okay. When I say women, I mean not a body. Okay. Masculine nature is there, and then there is a feminine nature. There are two natures is there in every human being. Whether you are masculine in nature or feminine in nature, at least this you must know. If a lady were to be devoted, she would not care with reference to all those things. Her attention will be more to do with, do you have a headache? Do you have a back pain? Do you have a stomach upset? In the class you are coughing, no? 2 times. One lady sent a message. Last class I saw him coughing twice. Why? There's an interrogation. Now Kriti has to give an explanation to her. So why he cough, what can I do for that? They say, why you are not there? You are not there to give him this, give him that. And then she gave a big list of, next 1 week, what should be my menu, so that I will not cough again next time. This is, see, a man will never do that. If I say, when there is a feminine person, in front of him, I say, headache. He'll say, sir, you keep taking a class, I'll keep doing my massage to you. He will immediately come and say, I will do massage. It's got nothing to do with man or woman. Remember. It's not man or woman. I am not able to show you people, I am not able to give names because you are all recording it. Otherwise, I would have told you. Who is who, what is what. This is what you are, 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 this is what you are. We know that. So when you say, what is my nature, this is how we deduce. Yes, I am not intellectual person. It is rare to find an intellectual personality. When I say it is rare to find an intellectual person, then what is option we have? Then I have to be emotional. No sir, I am not even emotional. Then I have to be active. Then you come down. Now when I'm still at the level of emotions only now. At the level of emotions, what is it sir? At the level of emotions, there are 2 chances are there. Masculine way and a feminine way. Masculine way method is what? 1. Feminine is, I'm just giving one example, okay? It's easy to understand. There are very many expressions there. You can't go into the details of what are all possibilities of expressions and all that. But basically it's easy to understand it this way. Now imagine you come as a person who is emotional. I keep giving you instructions in terms of what you should do and what you should not do. I give you the list of work list. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. This is your job, this is your job, this is your job, this is your job. If you keep allocating jobs to people, what does it mean? It's not matching. Round hole, square plug, they say something they say, no? What is that? Square plug in? Wrong hole. Round hole. Don't fit in. Somehow you push inside. That's why we are not able to see a spectacular growth in us. Why we are not able to see that growth is because even though we put in so much of effort, we are not able to see that effect. Impact is not there. When I say impact, what I mean is it should commensurate. The effort should commensurate the effect. If you say, sir, I am putting little effort but I am reaping huge benefits, you are duping yourself. Sir, I am putting tremendous effort but I am not seeing any result. You are being stupid. Where you have gone wrong, the possibility is here. The chances are, if you. if you, 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 the effort that I'm putting in is not matching with the result. If the result is more or the result is less to my effort. My effort is this much, but I'm seeing spectacular growth, sir. Delusion. You are deluded to believe you are growing. 2. Another possibility is my effort is more, the growth is not to that. Again, what is it? It is this. I am not talking about you should not be result oriented and all that. That's all different. Now we are talking about assessment. In assessment, you have to be result oriented. In action only, you are not supposed to be result oriented. When it comes to assessment, sir, now I want to make an assessment. When you say assessment, how do you assess? What is a reference point? For assessment, what is a reference point? Result alone can be the reference point for any assessment. Otherwise, how will you assess anything in the world? No point in saying, Krishna says in the Gita, don't worry about the result. That is when you are putting in effort. Not when you are sitting and assessing. And you don't have to make assessments on a daily basis. Every day you don't have to make an assessment. But once in a while you have to make the assessment in life. Like in those days we used to have, once a year we used to show profit. Now what are we doing? Not once a year now. Huh? Every quarter. Now they are saying not even every quarter. This is old. That is official. Internally every company says show profit from last month to this month. Down the line what is going to happen? Last week to this week. Little more. Yesterday to today. Little more you go. Morning to evening. Who asked you to change that? And then say pressure. Don't you have brains? Who said, no, we will make? We decided we will have once a year, no? Sir, you can't say you will never have, correct? You should have at least some reference point should be there. So we will do once a year. That was going fine, no? You mean to say those days people never made profit? They were never growth? They were also growing, no, at that time. Now suddenly, one set of fellows sat and decided, we will have every quarter. And who asked you to adapt to that first? Subscribe to that. Why did you subscribe? You subscribe to that standard. And then now you are saying what? Pressure, sir. Performance pressure. You have to perform. Who asked you to do that? Therefore, we say, don't be result oriented. Because you are not making a right reference points. But at any period of time, you sit and make an assessment. It can be done only with reference to the effect. And that effect has to be always in connection to the effort. If the effect and effort are not matching, something is wrong somewhere. Something else is playing. What is it? We say, if you believe with little effort, I am having tremendous effect. Sir, I am attending only once a week your class. I am seeing tremendous growth in me. Delusion. I can give an authority, I can say, delusion. Growth needs to be assessed once in a while. Without the reference point of that growth, you can never correct the course of action. What is the course of action? Don't ask me to start from the beginning again. Forgot. Starting is what? Do I have a spiritual disease. Do I have that first of all? Like they say, if we were to test our body, in our body there are cancer cells, even now. I got a heart attack when I read that first time. I said, what? Everybody's body has cancer cells. But you are not a cancer patient. Why?
Control.
It's in the margin. Same way, theoretically, all of us have spiritual disease. Like cancer is there for everybody, same way, everyone has got spiritual disease. The spiritual disease of ignorance is there in everyone. Not knowing who I am, what is my nature, what is my true self, etc. That disease is there in everyone. But then, has it grown in you? One. Two, second step is where you have to choose a person to guide you, a doctor to guide you. You go to a doctor. Then what you do? Now, in this entire system, sir, what is the advantage of Vedanta? Of all the systems, I will say best is Vedanta. What is the advantage in? Advantage with reference to Vedanta. Vedanta plays a dual role here. Number one, Vedanta works as a super speciality hospital and also a gymnasium. It works on both ways. One side, you enter the building, that is hospital. Another side you enter, it is gymnasium. The choice is yours. But anyway you can enter. Who will go to hospital? When will you go to hospital? When you are sick. When you are physically ill, you go to hospital. When do you go to gym? When you are normal. And what is the agenda of going into hospital? To get rid of sickness. What is the agenda of going into a gymnasium? To get stronger. Or at least to maintain that fitness of yours, the strength of yours, the flexibility of yours, to sustain that. Now Vedanta will do both. One, you come here for your problem. Two, it will get you out of your problem and put you in the mode of this. This is the advantage here. In this Vedantic system. First, it will clear your disease. All your samshayas will go. Doubts will disappear. When you are having doubts, here there is a doubt, there is a doubt, here there is a doubt, there is a doubt. Doubt and doubt and doubt and doubt and doubt. This is what happens to most of us. The problem we all face is, sir, now I don't have any doubts. A stage will come in the spiritual journey, in the study, for example. You keep studying, keep studying, keep studying. A point will come where you are not studying to clear your doubts anymore. I don't have any doubts. I don't have any questions in me. That's why in the Vedanta Academy, we have everyday group discussion. Every day. The same 24 fellows will be sitting and talking. How can you go on asking, A point will come where you reach a point where you no longer have any more questions. Then what you have to do, sir? You have to manufacture questions. You have to sit and ask questions. A stage will come, say, sir, I have answers with me. Only questions are not there. That means what? You can no longer use Vedanta as a hospital. Now you have to switch over to gymnasium. Now the master should have the capability to recognize that, to give you hospital treatment or to give you a gym trainer treatment. A gym trainer will force you to go more. Doctor will say what? Even if you can walk, he will say what? He will take you to the operation theatre. How? I can walk and come. They will say no. Stretcher. Why? Not allowed. In the gym, he says, sir, can I sit down? You give one whack and say, get up. 4 more. One more, one more, one more. He will go on forcing you to do more exercise, thereby your muscles get toned completely. He will tear you apart. Hospital will stitch everything. Exactly opposite. But what is interesting is, both are necessary for your wellness, no? Physical wellness. You do require hospital, you do require gym also in the world. Advantage of Vedanta is, it is 2 in 1. That's the only advantage we have. No other system has this advantage of both. Playing a role of a hospital, also playing the role of a gymnasium. Now, this is what I meant by understanding where you stand right now. If you say, I have been growing, I have been learning this subject for a long period of time, by now what should have happened to you? By now, the treatment should have been different. You see, if the master is not adapting, he is not changing the strategy to shift from hospital to gymnasium, you will be wasting your time there. Yeah, so far so good. I am so grateful to the doctor that he has cured my diseases. Correct. But I cannot go to him and ask for training. When I go for fitness training, I need to go to a fitness trainer only. There I can go to anyone. I can go to Zumba dance, I can go to, yoga, or I can go to gym. I can do whatever I want. But when you go to the fitness trainer, his style is different. The master understands that. He gives this. So when you say that I'm going to make a conscious choice of a guru, who I have to follow, you need to have this basic framework. What I'm giving you is a very fundamental framework. What is a framework, sir? What's a disease? Do I have a disease? What is my nature? Then what is his training? My nature, 3. Intellectual, emotional, active. Now, am I intellectual, sir? Assuming that I am not intellectual. I'm just assuming, okay? It's just an assumption. Suppose if you are an intellectual, then it is a different route we have to take. If I am an emotional person, then emotional person will express in 2 ways. Masculine, feminine. Now, the teacher should be able to understand. Now, I go to him as an emotional personality, and if he is not able to relate to me emotionally, it's not fitting. You see, something is wrong. Then comes, after a period of time, you started with the disease, a stage will come where you will be, the disease part will get over. You will no longer suffer from the disease anymore, but then growth will not happen. That flexibility, that strength is not there. So that's the training for your strength, training for your flexibility, training for your Resistance. Endurance. Correct. Endurance. I was searching for the word. Endurance training. Your ability, endurance is very different. Flexibility is very different. Strength is very different. Now, which one I have to, that needs to be assessed. When you go to strength training. Now, what is the meaning of spiritual strength and furthering my strength? You see, so from spiritual disease, you transform to spiritual strength, and that spiritual strength should get strengthened further. Does this person have that range available? If the person is not having this, now doing all this analysis doesn't mean you are an intellectual person. Remember that. This is not intellectual. This is just a basic intelligence, fundamental thinking. You do all these things and then choose. You are on the right track. And you will see the growth happening, commensurating your effort. You will not see more, you will not see less. You will never feel that, oh my God, I am getting too much, more than what I deserve. Nor you will feel, I am not growing at all. I don't seem to be growing at all. You will never feel either this or that. You will know exactly this equal that. That equation will get. If this is going fine, you are on the right track. You have purchased the right mirror. Or else, what to do now? Sir, I am having a wrong mirror with me. What to do? Or somebody gifted me a wrong mirror. What will you do with that? What do you do? Like people gift, no? If you have a wrong mirror, simply change it. No need to feel guilty and all that. There is nothing guilt here. It's an understanding. It is for us to grow. And the mirror will never feel sorry for that. Mirror will not bother. Mirror, if it is a mirror. If it is not a mirror, then it will be crying. Ayyo. If it is a mirror, it will not bother at all. It will say, I will find my own place. There are people who will want me. Go there. That's how it works. So, when you are making a choice, this is how you make a conscious choice. I don't know how many of you made it.